Salon owners, solo stylists, listen up. We have to talk about it. You have to keep your books accurate. And no, I'm not talking about library books. I'm talking about your bookkeeping for your business. You have to make sure, in order to maximize your earnings, that your bookkeeping is accurate and up to date. We're going to touch on whether or not your salon is making these 3 bookkeeping mistakes. All right, so let's jump right in. Mistake number 1. Mixing personal and business finances. This is the big one. I'm sure if you talk to any accounting professional, that is one of the first things that they tell you, that you cannot mix your business and your personal finances. It may be convenient at first, but it's not convenient, and I'm going to talk about why. I understand that all your transactions are in one place. Okay, that's easier to deal with in the beginning. It's simple. You don't have to have multiple cards. You have one bank account, probably one credit card that you just use for your personal and your business. It's easy for a startup just to get started. I understand that those are the benefits of it, but let's talk about how it's inconvenient and how it's really setting you up to fail. So the first thing you have to worry about is managing your transactions for tax season. Yes, the dreaded tax season. You need to record your business transactions separately. You cannot have them mixed in with your personal transactions. The problem is that if you end up claiming personal transactions as business transactions, it could be considered as fraud. We do not want to go down that rabbit trail. So let's keep those transactions separate. Next is that, let's say, okay, I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just not going to worry about claiming expenses. Well, then you're going to have most likely a much higher tax bill by not claiming your business expenses. Also, if you decide, okay, I'll just figure it out later, separating those transactions at the last minute can be very overwhelming. It can cost more to have someone come in and clean it up for you. It can cost you in penalties if you're not accurately reporting how much you are making. And also, one of the major things is that you are not keeping clear separation between your business and your personal finances. We call that the financial veil. And so when that is cut, then if someone were to pursue legal action against you, your business, they could come after your personal finances if you are not keeping those things separate. So it is extremely important to make sure you're not mixing your business and personal finances. So what are the solutions? Let's give you a couple of them. You want to have a separate bank account for your business. There are many online business bank accounts that are free. You don't have to worry about setup fees or having a minimum balance, things like that. So you can look into that if that's best for your business. Also, try to have a business credit card if you are going to have a credit card for your business. If you are just starting and not able to get one, at least have a credit card that's personal, that is set aside just for your business transactions until you're able to get a business credit card. Also, you want to make sure that you sign up for some accounting software. It will help you to keep track of your income and your expenses and keep everything clean and in check. And then finally, you want to keep a clear wall between your business and personal finances. Okay, so that's enough about mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, many people struggle with poor receipt management. Some people don't even keep receipts at all. I'm going to go into a little bit of a sidebar here about how I ask for receipts every time I am somewhere. I'm at a restaurant, at a store, and I get teased about it. It's like, okay, so why do you always have to ask for a receipt? Or when they say, would you like a receipt? I always say yes. And people tease me about it. And so maybe, and just maybe, it's not really as vital to keep a receipt for my personal transactions. That's an argument that I could probably make another video, whether that is true or not. But the idea that, okay, you have, your credit card and your bank, apps on your phone, you can see as soon as they make that transaction, it's showing up on there. Why do you need any additional proof? Personal finances, I can see there being a case for it. But for your business, it is absolutely vital that you keep your receipts. And here's why. First, it's vital for making sure you have an accurate picture of your finances. So what's so important about a receipt? Let's take a look at one. It shows what's being purchased, where it's from, how much, and when. All of that information is vital for categorizing transactions. For example, I make a Target run. I purchase some towels for the salon. Okay, that'd be supplies. Or maybe I purchase a lamp to add some style to my salon. Okay, that will probably be an office expense. Or maybe I purchase some brushes to resell in a package. I want to put together some products and brushes and say, here's my clean package. I would most likely put that in cost of goods sold. So those are three different categories that I will put those transactions in, all from one store, Target. Right. So if I just look at the bank statement and see that I spent $50 or $150 at Target, I have no idea why I spent that money. What was the business use for spending that money? Where a receipt will show that information. So it's very important that I keep that receipt so I can accurately categorize what it is I spent at Target. So again, as I mentioned with bank statements, it does provide some detail, but just not enough. It doesn't give itemized details. And also, it doesn't hold up against an audit because it doesn't provide enough detail to paint a clear picture as to why that expense was a business expense. So in conclusion, you want to keep your receipts, but that's just part one of this mistake. Part two is not just keeping your receipts, but managing your saved receipts. Once you keep your receipt, what do you do with it? But some of you are like, yeah, I keep my receipt and I, put it in a shoebox and put it in my bed. And if I need them, I'll figure it out later. Well, there is some issues with that. So when you're looking for a receipt, how do you find it? How much time are you taking to find it? Is the receipt still have the right information? I don't know about you, but sometimes I accidentally just keep some personal receipts just kind of sitting off on my desk, and they're accumulating over time. They've been moved around here and there. And then once I'm finally trying to look at that receipt and get information off of it, the ink is gone. And so the receipt is useless. I no longer can get the information off that receipt. And I know more importantly, most of the time what I'm looking for is end up being lost because I didn't have the correct filing system for my receipts. I didn't put them in the same place each time to find them. So I would say for managing your receipts, the best way to do that is to invest in some type of receipt management system. And when I say invest, I don't necessarily mean money. It can be time and or money. The more convenient, the more likely it will save you on time, which is great, but it may cost. So I'll go through some examples here in just a moment, but let's take a look at some of the benefits. So what you're doing is that you're going to be uploading data into the cloud, and through certain apps, it allows you to take that data and it will send it to your accounting software, such as like QuickBooks or Xero. And what it will do from there is that it will do the work for you by telling your accounting software that this item was purchased from Target and that the description are these line items. And so you're able to see, or your bookkeeper or accountants are able to see what it is that was spent, and they'll even suggest the category that it should go into. So that will be the convenient way to where you're able to get the receipt, take the picture in the app, it will do all the work, and then you can trash it and it is saved. Now you can of course keep your paper receipts for a certain amount of time, just in case there is an issue with the app. But I also have another method that you can do to create redundancies to make sure if there is an issue with an app that you're using, that you do have a backup of that receipt somewhere. So some apps that you can use for this, if you have lots of receipts, there is an app called Receipt Bank. It is on the pricier side because it handles bulk transactions very, very well. There are some that are simple to use. Those like Dext or HubDoc is a very famous one in the accounting community that we always promote to clients. But then also, if you're like, I don't want to spend money just to keep my receipts. Okay, fine, I understand. You're trying to cut costs, trying to keep expenses low. So is there a DIY version or option for me? Sure. So if you're already paying for accounting software, most of the softwares these days will come with some type of receipt loading management. They're not as robust as some of the other apps that are specific for capturing receipts, but like QuickBooks, you can send receipts into QuickBooks and attach them to your documents there. You can see them in there, and so your accountant can use that to categorize your transactions for you. You can also use Google Drive. G Suite is free for personal, very affordable for businesses. You get Google Drive storage, and what you can do is that you can create folders to organize your receipts. Just depending on what makes sense for you, you may do it by year and then month. You want to make sure that you are naming your receipts with a certain naming convention to make it easy for you to find receipts when you need them. So for example, you may take a picture on your phone, upload it to Google Drive, rename it November 30th, Target, or something like that, or whatever makes the most sense for you. If you have a bookkeeper or accountant, you can talk to them about what makes sense to communicate with them the receipts so that they can have a better workflow working on your books. But also with Google Drive, I like to use that as my redundancy. So I would upload my receipts to Google Drive as well as maybe using one of those apps. So if the app fails, Google Drive is my backup. If Google Drive fails, then we're all doomed because that's Google and Google runs the world. But if Google Drive does fail, I have the app as backup and so on and so forth. So I don't have to keep the paper copy if I don't have to. So let's get to mistake number 3, doing it yourself. So when you start your business, almost everything you do is like you're doing yourself. As soon as possible, you want to identify what is it that I am proficient at, what am I good at, and in what ways could I receive help from others to ensure that I'm offering the best solution for my clients and running my business to the best of my ability. When we look at bookkeeping, most people, when they do bookkeeping, it's kind of like an afterthought. It's like a last minute type of thing. Most people in general are procrastinators. I feel like these days are part of our DNA, our ADD society that we have, and also just the idea for instant gratification. I want to get what I want now, and I'll worry about all the stuff I don't like later. The problem is that the work piles up, it creates more stress, you end up having hard deadlines that you have to meet, and accuracy tends to be sacrificed in that regard. So this is the same with bookkeeping. For your business, it is vital that you have timely and accurate books. It paints a better financial picture of your business while also ensuring business growth. If you wait until the last minute, you waste many of those benefits. The benefits like learning from the financial data that you're receiving, seeing financial trends on how to better explore possibilities of growth, learning how you stack up against others in your industry, or how to save and make more money. These are all things that you can glean from having your books done timely and accurately. Overall, timely and accurate books saves your business money and time. The reason why I say you should outsource your bookkeeping is because basically you're really busy. You are managing a salon, you're managing clientele, you're managing your business's growth, you're trying to get paid and you're worried about that. So the last thing on your mind is like, okay, I have to go back and do the tedious job of bookkeeping. Some people working with numbers scares them because you were never taught how to properly manage your money. You're never good at math, or it was overwhelming when you tried to work with numbers. So why do it at all when you hate it and it frustrates you? My solution for you, again, is to outsource. Anything and everything that you do in your business that is just not clicking for you, that you don't feel like you are skilled enough to handle, you should be looking to bring support alongside you of other professionals that know how to help you and make sure that your business is growing. So hiring a professional bookkeeping firm is the same as your clients hiring you to fix their hair. So think of it like this. Your clients could do their own hair. Like really, they could do their own hair. I know they likely would have poor results unless they've had training. It'll be really time consuming for them. There's a learning curve to do some of the more complex things that they want to do. They're gonna probably have a lack of confidence while doing it, probably a lack of confidence after they've done it if it does not produce the result that they wanted. So, I mean, honestly, they should leave it to the professional. They should leave it to you to do because they're gonna end up being more happy with the professional results. It's the same with bookkeeping. As salon bookkeepers, we have spent countless hours of training to be the best at what we do. We have systems in place to work with salons specifically. We know what works and what doesn't. And because we have a heart to serve people, we tailor our services specifically to your needs. There's no one size fits all service offerings here. All of our plans are customized to ensure better results for you. So I want to conclude with this. You may have someone that comes into your salon who tried to color their own hair. They were trying to save money. Maybe they didn't value their profession and they were okay with their mediocre results until it was time to come get it fixed. When they do, They come to you and it's an absolute mess. There's so much work that has to be done to fix it. It's going to end up being more costly for them. It's a headache for everyone involved. And let's face it, that client's probably embarrassed through this process. Don't be like that client. Admit that you need professional bookkeeping. We focus on doing the things that we're good at, while you get to focus on the things you love most, working with your clients and making them look beautiful. Do you want help on this journey? All it takes is for you to say, I want help. If you want us to help, click that matchmaker link below and we'll schedule a chat to talk about your business. Make sure you subscribe for more tips. I'm coming out with more videos to help you grow your business. And until next time, let's capture to inspire beauty.